Okay, people, hello. Here is Oleg, and I'm also here with Tara.
Hello.
And we are here to talk to you, obviously, about recruitment and more specifically about recruitment promotion. As you know, recruitment starts in a little bit more than a week now. So you already received part of the materials, and we'll discuss today booklet, the recruitment center spreadsheet, and Google Drive itself. So yeah, let's start with the booklet itself. I will try to go with it very shortly, and just to clarify all of your doubts and what is in it. Okay, so we'll go firstly as the booklet goes. So for the historical data, investments, research, campaign, content of the campaign, and the local engagement. So the engagement required from your side. Uh, yeah, so actually, preparing for this recruitment, we started from historical data of the recruitments, and it will be the first part of the webinar and also first part of the booklet itself. Uh, because what we did, we analyzed the data from the past three recruitments, so actually the data from the all MC tempo recruitments. And we realized, first of all, actually the sources of applicants, and that the first source is number of percentage of applicants, and then you have also percentage of new members. So as you can see in the percentage of applicants, 38% is word of mouth, 47 is online, and offline is 15. And in new members, it's 47% word of mouth, 37 online, and 16 offline. Offline is more or less the same, but actually what changes is the word of mouth and online. And yeah, what does it mean is actually that majority of our in comparison for these two other sources of our applicants come from online, but actually the new recruits are coming mostly from word of mouth. So what does it mean? It's just your friends, friends of people in ISEC and friends of people who are outside of ISEC, who got to know in this way about the organization itself. So this is actually a huge also insight for us, and at the same time call to action in the sense how we can capitalize on the human resources we have in the LC, so they can actually promote the recruitment for us, so we can maybe spend less money on that, or maybe capitalize on both of those potential resources. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then you saw it already. This is the. Oh no, you didn't saw this. Sorry, you saw the investment slide. This is online contribution. I was trying to divide the LCs in the groups in which less than 45% of signups, let's say, in the forms of signups for ISEC are coming, and in Gdańsk, Kielce, Rzeszów, Szczecin, and Wrocław UT. It's less than 45%. It's a little bit less than 45%. Then between 45 and 55, so like the middle is Katowice, Kraków, Lublin, Poznań, and Toruń. And more than 55 is Białystok, Łódź, Warsaw SGH, Warsaw UW, and Wrocław UE. So yeah, what does it mean for us and for you specifically? That you should actually, I believe if you are in the group on which had like bigger percentage of people signing up from online sources, maybe you should consider investing more also in the sources, or also like explaining your members how they can actually contribute in that matter. And if you are less, also try to consider maybe to somehow still push for it, and maybe even increase the number of applicants from the online sources, because it will be one of our main channels for this recruitment itself, also because of the timeline, as you are aware of it. Cool. And yeah, investments itself. I won't keep it very long for investments because you already saw it. And this is actually the investment analytics also of the previous MC. And because you were spending and also MC was spending the money for the local ads for the recruitments, and based on that, based on this data, I figure out actually how much money is needed more or less for you to get one sign up, potential sign ups for the team member position. Yeah, it's weird to call it sign up, but I'm trying to find different words. And yeah, this is the groups are based on that. So yeah, the group A has, let's say, to spend least amount of money for that, and group C is the group who should spend the highest amount of money, and that's why I also divided the LCs into the groups and also allocated in that manner MC budget, because we have MC budget for this recruitment. It will be for the ads, and actually LCs that will require like greater support, like per LC we receive more money, but also the results that we can get is right now pretty similar in every LC, thanks to this division for the groups and thanks to the division to the percentages. I was taking into consideration like this previous data, that were similar in few LCs and grouped them. And then I was also considering how many LCs are actually in the group itself to make it fair actually for everyone, of like number of money of our investments that we'll be spending during this promotional period. So yeah, on the next slide it is visible that how much money we should suggest for each group to invest for each applicant, and it will work like that you simply alongside with your LCP's finance, you plan the budget already, but you will also put it in the LC return on investments tool, which will be refreshed this week, so it will be live. And you just let us know that way how much money you want to spend for the investments itself, and we'll invest those money, and you should simply transfer this money to MC account. Yeah, this is a suggestion. Like, we won't force you to pay anything or invest anything if you don't want to. But this is like actually strong suggestion. Also taking again into consideration that online sources is actually the greatest part of our new applicants for membership positions. So we should not neglect this channel, and we should treat it very seriously. Also, that I believe that you are having big plans for how many people you want to recruit. Yes, also to add, to decrease investments, make sure OS is actively promoting recruitment on online channels. Like, it's true, if you are creating with your LC also the buzz online, like sharing the post, liking posts, commenting them, and actually making people participate in the national recruitment event is better, because our reach is greater. But yes, still consider investments, because it's simply efficient and actually brings results. Okay, now the other researches that we did is about membership in ISEC, and also sorry, new recruits which are coming. And this is based on actually membership CRM on Podio, recruitment CRM on Podio, and previous engagement survey. Actually, I think previous engagement survey that we ask additional questions, and also we are in contact with your SCPs, with consultants, new consultants. So yeah, and head of the products in the MC here. So in general, I am pretty confident about this data, and it took actually quite some time to make it work, but I think it's pretty relevant. So yeah, what this slide shows is actually what ISEC brings. According to people, it's self-development, it's challenges, it's friends, new friends, and sense of belonging. This is what people in the majority were answering. And then how would you describe ISEC? We put at a set of adjectives, and the most used one was impactful, dynamic, and diverse. And then three most important things for people who are in ISEC. It's that they are among friends, and at the same time they are learning and developing their leadership skills and other soft skills. And then that actually what we do in ISEC brings some social impact. And this is also the main base of our campaign, as you will notice later on. Then we are also asking about people's interests, and maybe it's not surprising, but the greater part was about traveling. We really like to travel. At least it was shown in the survey itself. And then passion for maybe passion or maybe just the studies of learning languages. It's also kind of popular. Then again, self-development and meeting new people. Okay, and then further membership analytics is actually the age. Age of our membership is in majority between 20 and 22 years. So this is also the group of people we can attract in this recruitment, but I would also advise to attract younger people, because these are also the potentially people who can stay longer in the organization. And actually we are also increasing the number of people who are 18, 19 and 20 in the organization, so I think it's good to sustain this trend. And then studies level is either second bachelor level or first bachelor, so people just enrolling to studies. So it can be also a good target group for us right now. And then educational background, so what people actually are studying is, I think somebody's joining. I will try to put it or not. Yeah, Hassan. Cool. Hello, Hassan. Can you hear us? I think our mic works because I see it working, so I don't know. We'll just maybe proceed, and you can just also type if your mic doesn't work. Okay, so as I was saying, the background of people is mostly economic, finance and accounting, then languages, then psychology, then management, then international relations, then computer science, and this is like the major. Then we have also many more, but also they are very little in quantity. Hello. Okay, Hassan is saying my mic is not working. Okay, it's fine. What are you doing? Yeah, we can start presenting. Okay, that's true.
Okay, so we already started, and we also started recording, so you can see the first part then in the recording in the recording afterwards. And yes, we can proceed.
Yes, we are going right now through the recruitment promotion booklet. Then we'll be going also through the drive and through the spreadsheet. So just to explain to you everything. And we are right now in the part of we actually finished the membership analytics part. So we finished all of the researches that we done before. Yeah, if you can mute your mic, it would be great. Cool, thank you. Cool. So yeah, coming to the communication strategy, it's like thing which, in my opinion, should go with every campaign itself. So people actually know how to communicate ISEC and ISEC recruitment. Because I believe for the past maybe even 2 years, it wasn't like very directly communicated how we should communicate ISEC itself, what it is that we actually do in ISEC. what are our projects about, and this stuff, and yeah, what is this whole leadership about. So I want to make it super clear for this recruitment. So also it is important for you, but also for and maybe even especially for members and people who will be promoting ISEC. Sorry, and that's why the communication strategy is in 2 languages, because we are attracting both Polish-speaking person and non-Polish-speaking person, but also in the organization we have people who doesn't speak Polish. So yeah, I believe it's needed right now to have the communication strategy in 2 of these languages, to also set things super clear, because ISEC way, ISEC values and stuff sounds very well in English, but sometimes when you try to translate it to Polish on our own, then it doesn't sound super pretty. That's why I also took it into consideration. So yes, you can read ISEC is global, independent, youth-run organization operating in over 120 countries and territories on local, national, and international level. For over 45 years in Poland, we develop leadership qualities in young people by practical experiences in projects supporting creation of cross-cultural exchanges. We are present in 15 biggest academic centers in Poland, where thanks to teamwork we develop leaders who in a responsible way influence on what is happening around them. And in Polish it's the same. Yeah, like almost the same. It's not Google Translate. I was translating that because, as I told you before, I put actually a bit effort to make it sound also good in Polish. So yeah, you can read it. You can read it as well. And then also our values. It was translated actually before how we should translate our values itself. So for instance, striving for excellence is dążenie do doskonałości, but also other values which can be not so obvious. Let's say, for instance, demonstrating integrity would be spójność in Polish, because this is also what this value is about when you read the description of the value itself. Yeah, and acting sustainably, działanie z myślą o przyszłości, because in Polish we cannot really translate in a nice way word sustainably, except from zrównoważony, but it doesn't connotate really well with the value. So that's why. Then our vision, dążymy do osiągnięcia pokoju, pełnego wykorzystania potencjału ludzkiego. This is rather straightforward. Yeah, so that's why I put it before the campaign event, to make sure that actually people who are talking about ISEC actually know what they are talking about, and that we have one clear communicate on what is our organization, that we cooperate in. We had over 120 countries and territories, not only countries, not less, no more. Yeah, actually that. So yeah. Coming to the campaign itself, the timeline you saw it also before. Right now we are pre-attraction, which is called very fancy brand positioning, and this is all what is right now happening on Facebook and on Instagram. Then recruitment event, national recruitment event itself will start on the 19th of August, and as you can see, it will last just for 2 weeks, but it is because actually of Facebook. Because on Facebook you cannot create events longer than 2 weeks, running for longer than 2 weeks. And as you know, recruitment promotion itself will be a week longer. Maybe if we reach in the ideal state desired number of applicants, it won't be a need. But if so, recruitment will be longer and it's planned this way. So later on, we'll try to transfer all of the messages again to fan page. Then LC preparation. This is the stuff you have also listed in the booklet and in the spreadsheet itself, what you should actually do in order to prepare good for the promotion of the recruitment. And then there's the downscaling of the materials from my side.
Yes, and regarding the pre-attraction phase, remember that these are posted on the fan page on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can share them and make your members, your EB, etc. share them. This way, we are creating some awareness when it comes to ISEC in our territory, because people, friends of Facebook and Instagram followers, are seeing either the stories or the posts, etc. So yes, keep this in mind.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I will actually explain to you pre-attraction phase because this is something actually very important, and yeah, it can create as a nice target group for the recruitment when it starts. And as you can see, the aim of pre-attraction phase is to increase awareness of ISAC and part and of what we do to our target audience. It will run nationally since 5th of August, so it's already running. Uh, and yeah, example is actually here. So actually this is information about ISEC that we exist for over 70 years, that what are we doing, that we strive to achieve peace and fulfillment, and that we develop leadership. So actually people who are following us and who will start following us will get to know ISEC more before even applying. So this is also answering sort of the need that you faced, that actually people who were joining maybe was not quite aware what ISEC was doing, and this is actually what we are tackling right now in pre-attraction phase. So we are explaining to people what ISEC is really about. And if you are curious, there is content calendar in the spreadsheet itself. I will update it soon. Right now, it's almost updated. I believe I didn't put like just the post of today, but in general, yeah, in this content calendar, I'm planning everything what I'm posting regarding pre-attraction, so the brand positioning of ISEC itself. Yeah, campaign attraction itself. Uh, yeah, so actually after campaign, I will also maybe we can open like short questions because two people are already here. So if you would like to ask some questions, you can after the campaign itself. Cool. So the campaign is slogan campaign tagline is develop youth with the emphasis on you. I really like that. We figure it out also with TM consultants. So at the end of the day, you also could have it before and read it before. So yeah, this is all like this. Sorry, this part is tackling, as you remember, this need of actually leadership development and skills development in people, and this is also what people are getting in ISEC. So this is also why behind of this naming, and then this is also the fancy explanation. Let's say why behind also of this tagline and the organization, that we are a youth-run organization developing leadership skills with our membership throughout organized social projects and enabling young people to live their experience abroad. So we work in diverse environments with people who share similar values while making positive impact every day. And what is it? It is actually the three sub messages in the two sentences. But yes, called the attraction of the for the recruitment itself were based on these three sub messages, which are again both in Polish and English, in order to communicate it in the correct way and effectively in these two languages. So first you need to develop your passion and gain your skills in dynamically programming people. So in Polish rozwijaj swoje pasje i zyskaj nowe umiejętności w dynamicznym zespole młodych ludzi. Achieve more with people who share similar values. Osiągaj więcej wspólnie z ludźmi, dla których ważne są podobne wartości. Get involved in social projects and impact on what is happening around you. Zaangażuj się w organizację projektów społecznych i wpływaj na to, co się dzieje wokół ciebie. Yes, and you might ask about what are those free sub messages, and this is actually, I would treat it as a guideline for me, but also for you when we'll be communicating the recruitment and creating promotional materials and promotional anything that in what we are doing in terms of, for instance, writing the post that we are tackling somehow one of these sub messages of the campaign. So we can talk in the post about people that we are sharing similar values, for instance, of a joint participation, and we will be put it in a nice way and connected with the sub message number 2. And then if you would like to talk about our social impact that we are doing throughout organizing projects and life-changing experiences, you will be connected with sub-message number 3. So people actually who are seeking for some opportunities to contribute to the local society, they can also find it in ISEC. And then if people want to develop themselves, the development is also here in the first sub-message. So as you can see, it is kind of complex, but also it's answering all of these 3 main needs we found before in the researches and what ISEC actually can bring to people. So yeah, this is also why it's in both languages to make it super clear for everyone in your LC as well, because you are not only people responsible for recruitment, but I always believe that whole LC is always responsible for recruitment because it's important for everyone. Yeah, about materials itself, we already have part of them in the drive. Yeah, we have also the press note. I will explain it also later. But yeah, so far the posters are in the drive. The stickers are in the drive. Leaflets are partially in the drive. I'm still finishing them. So hopefully, but by end of today, everything will be uploaded on drive. What is the current state? As you know, UI is also the strategic part of the recruitment, so they would need also to feedback all of the materials, but it should be super fast thanks to IPO as well. So actually tomorrow, I believe, or latest on Monday, all of the materials should be ready for you to order and to print if you want to do so. So it's still 1 week before the recruitment starts itself. Yeah, I think so. I hope you will like the materials. Yeah, that I like them. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. So then LC activities. You can see maybe a lot of stuff here, but they are actually super simple. I just really wanted to list all of the things which I have in my mind in order to help you actually to achieve your recruitment goals. And yeah, those carrying and LC education. So first things first, we should educate our LC members how they should promote the recruitment, what is the communication strategy, what is the message of the campaign, how they can involve their friends in to join the organization itself. So this is super important that everyone in LC is aligned and signing the same message about the recruitment and the recruitment dates and everything. Then it's also advised to have internal R&I campaign for that with preparation before and then delivery during the recruitment period. Then I will also prepare a picture frame for Facebook, cover photo for Facebook, so we can increase, you can change it on the first day of the recruitment, so also people will notice that something is happening. Then research on local media, yes, and this is also the thing connected to the press note. So yes, actually you have social local media in your cities. You have, for instance, local radios. So you can send the press note previously edited it to your LC. Like to how your LC looks and then send it, so you can maybe schedule some interview there or just release the press note so they can post the information on their channels. This is also useful, for instance, for some websites which young people are following. I know this kind of website, and it also looks like more professional if we are releasing actually professional press notes to the media and to person who can boost our reach in this terms. The press notes is done. You just need to edit it to your LC. How does your LC look? Then post on Facebook groups. Yes, it will be also the template for the Facebook groups, and it is also a must that you know this kind of groups when there is a lot of people in there, like the students, for instance, the groups about first year of some whole university or some group of whole dormitories or some groups of some interest. This is actually, speaking also from my experience, very effective. And but just have in mind not to spam too much. You should like politely ask the administrator of the group if you can post it, and then also not post it like every single day because it's pointless, because people already notice that. So yeah, actually create sort of the timeline in which group you will post when, so you can boost the recruitment results constantly in a constant way throughout whole weeks of the recruitment. And yeah, first things first, you should also research those groups earlier before you can post there, right? So it's pretty obvious. Then we already started stories from members collection. We have already few entries on the podium, so it's fine. We'll also use it as content for our for campaign of the recruitment campaign. Then is fulfilling data in a recruitment spreadsheet, which we'll show you shortly, and then sharing pods like in posts, as I told you before. And these activities so far are the must activities, because I think that actually without that it will be pretty hard in your IC to run a recruitment promotion. Then we have good to have activities, which is something that you can build on and actually increase the results even more. So I'm waiting actually for people who will be willing to take over Instagram in the recruitment period. Just let me know in the next week so I can arrange that. We can do that in a very nice, very interactive way. Uh, I was doing that, for instance, while I was on GB. It was super fun also for the person who is taking over the Instagram. On that, you can share actually the LC life, what do you do in the team meetings, and in general information about ISIC. Then we have guerrilla marketing actions. Yes, we cannot maybe be present as on universities and as in different timeline, making stands, info booths, and flash outs. But we can do more creative marketing actions that maybe there is. Um, Maybe you can go on some event, or you can go just on the streets next to the library or next to the place which is popular among our target group, and actually talk about ISEC or create something new and innovative in order to grasp people attention. Uh, ISEC in Netherlands were dressing as the blue humans, so it was also very interesting. And I hope on your creativity. Just make sure that actually your activities are sort of brand aligned, because at the end of the day you are the face of the organization. So yeah, keep that in mind. Then, as I mentioned before, radio interviews, like you can do it, it's fine. I believe it can give us some recognizability as well. But as you know, radio is maybe right now not the most popular media, so it is not something which you should treat as your priority, but it's still good to have. Then video recommendation from university or city hall. It is actually super good. I know that few LCs were doing that in the past recruitments, that actually, and they recorded the live statement of the president of the city, that actually he or she is recognizing the ISEC, and she thinks that that what we are doing is good. So it gives us also huge recognizability, also among our target group, and more credibility, which if you have all the resources and time to do it, I would advise it. Then you will have also opportunity, because I will open the opportunity for you to post for yourself on the event or the fan page. I mean, creation of the post and the graphic materials, you can do that. I will provide you with the materials with the templates, and so we have already the space for like writing the post in the spreadsheet. So if you will be if you will go through my feedback, I will also post them, so you can actually contribute to the promotion of the recruitment even more. And by saying you, I'm not like necessarily meaning you as LCDPXTM, but maybe you can actually include your IC, include your recruitment teams in that. Yeah, cool. And then the same for videos. Then external events presence. Yes, it is very important right now to research on any external events on which our target group can appear, because it is offline touch point. It may be not the biggest contributor, but it's still very relevant as we are taking pie chart as a whole, and also that actually people who are coming from the offline activities are then being accepted to ISEC, so this conversion is also super good. So that's why I would also put the emphasis on that external events presence.
Okay, just one thing to add from my side. Also remember to fill the form with the recruitment stories. It's on our Guardians workplace group. It's bit.ly/recruit story. And thanks to that, we can create some posts also with your stories about what you developed in ISEC. And if you have some picture, you can also upload them, or some videos, you can also upload them there. So yeah, remember to do that. For now, we have around a dozen, but of course, the most material we have, the more number of posts then we can create, or the greatest number of ads we can create. So yes, just keep that in mind.
Yes, this is actually I was mentioning this before. Yeah, it is important that we actually need the content to create nice materials, and it's nice that we are already uploading them. So we'll for sure use it. And then, as I mentioned later, if you want to create something on your own, you can also do it in this form of the spreadsheet and feedback from our side that we have. Yeah, this is also the quantity of those activities. I was advised to send at least 2 press notes to media to actually make ourselves visible at least in 2 media sources, media channels. Then at least 1 post on each FB group you are in, and again this kind of groups which can actually bring us the desired result. Stories of members collection, yeah, at least 5 per LC. So if right now we have a dozen, so we still are missing something. So it would be very nice to have at least 5 stories from each LC. I believe it's not a super maybe challenging to convince 5 LC members to write something. It can be even very interesting for them. Then Insta Stories take over. I would like to have at least 4 LCs involved. Guerrilla marketing actions, if you are going to do them, also again at least 2. So first maybe you can try, and then second you can upscale your work. Then radio interviews, yeah, again at least 2 if you are willing to do so, and the same with the recommendation. Post for event and fan page. This is again the recommendation. You can create 10 posts. So if imagine just if you are behaving from each LC 10 posts, it will be 150 posts. Additionally, apart from that, we are doing from national level. Yeah, this is like increase on quantity, which is also very needed, taking also into consideration that maybe you have more HR to create posts and videos than we have just in the national level. So yeah, we of course will promote like constantly the recruitment for the recruitment period. But this would be very nice addition also for you and also for our cities, because if you, for instance, create a post for the fan page, I can target it specifically for the region or for the city itself. And then if you want to create also additional posts for the event, it will be more posts on the event, so the event actually will get more recognizability. Yeah, external events presence, again, at least two. But please really research on that, and if you will notice that I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 events which are really nice to go in, just go for it and make the most out of it, because as I said before, it can be also very nice points for you. I remember when I was a CVPTM, I was also doing that. And actually bring the result. So yeah. Yeah, this is explanation of the activities. So actually, the thing is, I was talking to you before. And then before going to tools, because we'll explain it to you later anyway, we have MC role, which is about creating guidelines, providing you with the timeline, graphic materials for offline and online, national campaign on Facebook, and blog running, because we also already updated our blog on isaac.pl website. Then running even on the national level, then changes on landing page. Yeah, we'll create a new landing page for the recruitment, so actually people who are directing to this website, they will get to know ISEC also better. Then we are running also nationally Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Insta story management, yes, if I will get your willingness to actually take over Instagram, we'll also manage that. Yeah, feedback materials. If you create materials, I will feedback them, then I will post them. Then also our responsibility is somehow to track you, obviously, and report to you the results of the campaign. And then your role as I think it was here somehow. Yeah, your role was explain the activity, so it's fine. And yeah, important drive and website link. Website will be still updated, but the link will be like that for sure. Okay, so maybe before going to the spreadsheet itself, maybe you have some questions to ask. If not, we'll proceed in 1 minute, maybe less.
Okay.
Okay, amazing. Oh, super cool. So we'll proceed earlier.
Amazing. So we go to the spreadsheet.
Yeah, we can maybe first go to the spreadsheets.
Or we can...
No, the spreadsheets. Okay. Then I will show everything in the folder.
Amazing.
Pam, pam. Yeah, the link for the spreadsheet is also, actually the link to the whole folder is in the booklet itself, and whole booklet is also in the folder. Link inception is happening there. So yeah, this is just the welcome page with the timeline. Maybe we'll add something more to this welcoming page if it will be needed. I believe that for now timeline is the most important thing.
Yes, and we can also add the link for this webinar on this page, so whenever you want to watch it again, you can.
Maybe, yeah, because we'll upload it on YouTube, maybe, yes.
Yes.
Cool. Important links are also here, promotional booklets, stories collections of this Podia stories collection. Yeah, it will be also LC return on investments tool. So the thing I was talking to you in the booklet, like a few minutes ago in general, that you are deciding there how much money you would like to spend for the recruitment ads, and then. Here is just the link that I will provide to you where you can upload additional pictures and videos for the posts. And then post creation, I believe this will be just the links for the another tab in the spreadsheet, because it's included in the spreadsheet itself. Cool.
So we start with recruitment tasks. So this tab is for you to have very clear if you are actually fulfilling the things that you should be doing that are in part attraction things, but in part also not. So, for example, selection of recruitment team, selection of OC for LCCs. So you have here the national timeline with the various deadlines. So you should fill it with the information of your LC, so I can also know at which stage you are and if you need further support from our side. And here, if you scroll on the right side, you can see the task number 2 that is goal setting. And this is very important, and it's, as I was saying in the newsletter, something that you should fill by the 9th of August, so by tomorrow. So it's very simple. You should put the number of new members that you got from analyzing how much HR is gonna stay in your LC, and subtract it from the number of people that you actually want to have in the LC in the second semester, and you should multiply it by your either historical conversion or the conversion that you're aiming for, and this way you are able to get the number of applicants. Generally, it's around 3 to 1, which means that from 3 applicants we get 1 new member. You can customize it based on your needs, on the things that you want to have in your LC, but that is kind of the average. And then when it comes to number of RB attendance and number of task participants, also as you saw in the newsletter, these are going to be the 2 parts of the process, because there is going to be first the RB, to which people are going to be invited, and then the task participation, which is the test when it comes to understanding more the personality and the role that the applicant can have in the LC, and then a task that should be functional. When it comes to the task, you can decide how exactly to manage it, and also whether to have it or not. If you are in an LC that is really struggling with talent capacity in this moment and doesn't have a big recruitment team, or doesn't have a total recruitment team, then I suggest you to either have a very short task or not have it and just have a test, for the simple reason that it's easier for you to manage the applicants in this way and to understand what can be their contribution, because you can just have maybe more question on the RB, and make sure that you're talking to all the people. And yes, so this is regarding this tool. Here you should put the LCC dates that you are selecting, and yes, so make sure to fill it. The deadline, as I was telling you, is tomorrow, and this is all for this tab.
Cool. Then we have more detailed for the attraction itself. So this is just the points you were seeing in the booklet itself with the deadlines. So what is required from you is to either type done as Durci did already, but also you can put the date you are planning to do it, having in mind the deadline. So make sure that you will fill the spreadsheet with the dates you are planning to, for instance, downscale the materials and LC education, having in mind that it should happen before the campaign starts, so before 16th of August. That you can also put that on the 19th everyone in the LC will be changing the Facebook picture frame. Yeah, this is very simple. This is also the deadline here for you, that you should fill it in 11. So either put done or just the date you are planning to do it in your LC. Yeah, recruitment results.
This is the part of recruitment results. So what is this tab about? So it's actually quite simple to understand. Here you have the name of your LC, and you have to fill here the parts that are in yellow. So the number of applicants that you have, the number of newbies that you have, and here it will calculate automatically the kind of conversion that you're going to have. Then you should split the number of applicants that you want to have per each week. because this way you can understand at which point you are of the attraction phase of the recruitment. And this is super important for you because of course we cannot arrive at the last minute in which we don't understand, we haven't understood so far at which point we are. And how you should base the division, it's quite simple. It's based on the activities that you are actually gonna be having, because of course the ads will be a constant thing throughout the 3 weeks, but you can also, as we were saying, post on your Facebook groups of the university, or you can participate in some offline events or go to radio and all these things. And so if you have a lot of activities, for example, in the second week, then of course the second week is going to be your peak of applicants. If you have a lot of activities in the first week, then it's going to be your peak of applicants. So just divide it, keeping in mind how many activities you're going to have. And here you see the yellow parts also here. This is also something that you have to fill. And this is for you to understand what you want your main sources of applicants to be. So you will have to divide your goal of applicants between friends, online, media, which is other kinds of media apart from the Facebook groups and ads, and then offline events and reintegrations. So here you can put the number of applicants that you're expecting from those. Also, always based on the kind of activities that you're gonna be having. Another useful thing for you to know is that here you're going to have the cumulative number of applicants that you have. So you can always go to this spreadsheet to check it. Of course, you're gonna probably have your own spreadsheet at the local level, but here you can have an overall view about the whole Poland. And these three columns that you see here, not contacted, selected, and rejected by Elsie, is something that I will update together with the achieved number of applicants. And I'm gonna be basing everything on Podio. And so here you will see how many people you still haven't contacted. I'm gonna update it daily, but at the same time, this is something that you should already know. It's something that you should already check in Podio more than once per day. And this is something that I'm gonna feel just to make sure that we have a clear idea of like what is going on, because sometimes it may happen that some LC is not contacting some applicants, and you will just be able to see it also from here in case there are some extra applicants that you forgot about. So yes, this is regarding this tab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also it reminds me that here in the part of the attraction, the additional thing is also reintegrations. So make sure that we are actually contacting people which are coming back, especially from GB, because they are also the potential group of people who can join you. And like having GB experience before joining ISEC can be super beneficial for you and for retention rates, for instance, and then leadership pipeline. So yeah, make sure you also do something about that. Maybe do very creative reintegration seminar. Maybe send them videos. Maybe ask them questions. How was it? Would you like to making those experiences happen also in Poland?
Exactly, and this is something that of course you need to have in synergy with your VP OGV or also OG OGT.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, so remember to have a synergy with them.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah, data collection. You started feeling it as well. It's amazing. Yeah, so this is actually data that will be important mostly for you, actually. That in the sense that if you decide to post, like as we advise, to send the press note, you should actually base it on the factual data. And this is exactly it, that we are posting actually the data which are actual based on facts about our LCs. So our communications is also transparent and with our external environment. You can also use all of this data when you will be posting and creating your own posts, your own videos, anything creative regarding to promotions which you can do. Again, this is the additional content for you. That's, for instance, did you know that just in Lublin, in just this year, we provided 17 people life-changing experiences abroad. Would you like to be part of that? For instance, this can be also used very nicely for me for the promotion as a accumulated number. So I will just put the sum formula and I will count, okay, how many to how many countries our people went this year, how many EPs did we have from IGV, OGV, but also from which countries they were, and yeah, and exactly the additional things which we can't really check on EXPA, which is the number of partners for IGV, IGT, IGE, which is also super interesting data for us to have for promoting actually ISEC experience. So yeah, this is let's say LC numbers. This is preparation for the recruitment and for the creation of the content for the recruitment, mostly for you, also for me, but mostly for you. Cool. And this is the tab you've been waiting for. Yeah, this is the tab for creating the posts and content for your own. And I will feedback at, as you can see, between 24 and 48 hours. Also because I'm one person in the MC, so I need to, yeah, manage my responsibilities. But yes, nevertheless, I hope that you will upload a huge number of those, because I really believe that it can make a difference in this recruitment. That, okay, the promotion itself is run by the national level. It's run with bigger budget and with maybe better message, but also the involvement from the local level is increased in sense of not only HR processes but also the promotion itself. So we can actually reach our target for the applicants. So we can actually have people to choose from to join ISEC finally. And I believe it cannot be done without your participation. This is not something which I tell you to do. This is something that I advise you to do, because I also realized that maybe in few LCs it will be a real struggle to participate more in promotion. But just if you have resources and the willingness to do so, organize your LC in that way, your recruitment team, but also maybe additional people who are not in the recruitment team, who are creative, who want to also experience something new, to do so, because it can only bring positive impact on the number of applicants and increase the reach of what we do in the recruitment promotion. So with this short explanation way behind, here you can choose your LC. Here you can choose the category. Categories are four. So it can be posted with a graphic, with the photo, with a GIF, and with the video. Where should we post it? It can be either Facebook event, group, or fan page. Event, this is one big national event. Facebook group, this is the post you want to post in the group or in the university fan page, for instance. And then Facebook fan page is our fan page, ISEC Poland fan page. So you can also write post for the national fan page. Keep in mind that I will, if the post will be tackling the topics very local ones. So, for instance, how much impact did you do locally in terms of creating IGP projects? I will target your post for your region, because this number won't be really relevant for the whole Poland, but for your region, absolutely it will be. So yeah, I will target it that way. Then planned publish date. Keep in mind the time for feedback, that if you are putting the planned publish day, okay, if you are studying recruitment on 19th and you put the post on 19th and the planned publish date is for the 20th, it probably won't happen. Because most probably, maybe at the beginning, it will be quite some feedback for you in order to make post better or the graphic better. So it will require, I don't know, 2-3 days at least before the post will be published. Then this hour of publish. I will also make an additional tab with the content calendar for the recruitment itself. So then you can see there when national posts are being airing. So we can choose the hours between those in general, not to overlap with ourselves. And then link to graphic, it will be in the LC folder. I think I will just create the folder and the subfolder in the Guardians drive, so you can just upload in your specific LC there. But it would be also very nice for me if you put the link here, because in that way I can reach the graphic faster and make sure that this is actually this concrete graphic, not the other in the folder. Then, as I told you before, we'll be having communication in 2 languages, so please write captions in both Polish and English. In Facebook, there is this very nice way of posting that you can write the post in Polish and then also add the option to add in English as well, or the opposite. So yeah, this is why we are doing that, and it depends on your Facebook settings. If you have Facebook set for English, it will display for you for English. If you have Facebook set in Polish, it will provide you the caption in Polish. So it's very nice, very automatic. Then the feedback for me, I will write in this box what kind of changes you can do in this post. I will feedback the post like obviously every day, but it also depends on the quantity of the posts. If I have, I don't know, in the ideal and so my dream scenario, I will have I don't know 50 posts from you per day. It will be super hard for me to feedback them all. So also please understand that and keep in mind the deadlines, and actually that at least this 2 days, 3 days before posting, it will be super cool to have them. And then I will check the box in if the post is actually posted, so we can keep tracking. Yeah, I think that's it for that tab.
All right. So here I just created for you a very quick calendar. So if you want to put here the kind of external activities that you're having each day, because on the tab regarding preparation for attraction, there is the deadline for you to contact the various things. But here you can also like customize your own calendar. Writing, for example, if you have a radio interview on a certain week, so you can understand better how many activities you're actually doing for each week. And then here there is the general calendar, which is this, which you already know, and it's just for you to have it in all the places that it's important. And here we have the pre-attraction campaign.
Yeah. This is how content calendar looks like. And here you can find every post we already posted on either on Facebook or in Instagram. I'm already planning and it will be there the materials for the next week, because as you can see right now it's empty, but don't worry, it's planned, it's just not yet put here. I am right now processing the whole content which I gathered, because the very interesting thing is coming. I hope you will like it, and it will be put in here as well. And again, for the not only pre-attraction, so the brand positioning, but also for attraction of recruitment itself, I will create something super similar, because it's super easy for me actually to work in this kind of content calendar scheme, that I have clear channel type of post and content and content captions. It is super useful to have it, but I could have it actually just for my own, but I want actually you to also to see it, in order for you to understand better what is happening with the national recruitment promotion on the national level. Even if you maybe can't edit this tab, because this is just for you to see actually what is going on and what is planned for the next week, for the next 2 weeks in that kind when it comes to the recruitment itself. And also here you will see the hours of the posts. So when you'll be like writing in the previous tab the hour of the post and the day of the post you want to post it, you can also check content calendar and see, okay, maybe I shouldn't post this right now on the Facebook fan page, because at 6 p.m. already similar post from the national level is running. So maybe this post can be published somewhere else, or maybe it can be published a little bit later.
This is it for the spreadsheet. And do you have any question regarding how to fill the spreadsheet, or what is the use of some tab?
We can wait 1 minute
Yes.
again. So I'll drink.
Yes, you can just tell us if everything is clear, and we can move on to show you the drive, and then the webinar will be over.
Okay, asking case, yeah, it's important. Yeah, maybe some questions will appear for you on the way, where, for instance, you'll be filling the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So I feel free to approach us. Yeah,
Okay.
you can approach me also directly, especially for the promotion stuff, because HR it's not my specialization, but for the promotional, obviously you can approach me.
This is the time of the year in which you can approach Oleg, so really capitalize on it, you know. And all right, so we can move on to the drive folder. So this is the drive folder that is regarding recruitment of 2019.2, and of course is inside the Guardian's workspace. So you can go to the Guardian's workspace. Then there is the folder of get, and then there is the recruitment 2019.2. So here you can find the recruitment center. You can find the booklet that we just used and that was posted on the workplace group of the Guardians. You can find the press note that Oleg was talking about.
Yeah, maybe I will even show that.
Yes.
The press notes, and then there is also a folder, the subfolder with the materials, offline, online. So everything I'm uploading actually every day, something new there. So by the end of tomorrow, I think it will be everything. Maybe I'll add something more when it comes to online materials later on, but everything regarding offline should be there till tomorrow. Right now, there is vast majority because there is already poster stickers and one side of the leaflet, let's say. So I'm still producing the second side, but for offline materials, it will be it. And as I told you before, it should also go through UI feedback. But I think it will, because I just used its logo, so it will be also super fast thanks to IPO. So maybe Terry will give you update on that maybe even tomorrow after IPO's contacting UI and its feedback. And then when you want to create the graphic material on your own, you would need to go to the online folder, and then here's for brand positioning, here's for recruitment promo, which will be interest for you. And in this folder, I will upload the Photoshop template. If you of somebody of you in the LC can use Photoshop and have Photoshop, you can edit the template here and adjust it to your needs. If it will be the case that nobody in the LC or nobody in the network know how to do it, and you still want to create the graphic, I will try to figure out other solution for that. But we can just manage it on the way. Yeah, this is the press note which is loading. Just please do not edit this. Maybe I will even erase the editing access, not to break it, because you should create actually the copy for your LC and then adjust it to the needs. So it's in Polish, because obviously we are conducting media in Polish. And in Polish it's informacja prasowa, so the press note, and you are filling the city, the data, very formally thingy. And then in this form of square brackets, you have things that you should change. That you should know, that have you ever know that in the city there is a place in which you can develop your soft skills and gain practical experience. So in the sentence, you should change actually the city itself. So either it will be Szczecin, either it will be Lublin or Wrocław. You can put it here. And then you have that already the recruitment to ISEC in city again in Wrocław started, which from this year is operating in the city. So we can also add it here, and has this many active members among them right now. So again, it's still everything in the bracket, so it will be easy for you to notice and actually change. And then it goes like it through the whole press note. Then it's here, yeah, email address, you can add the, as it says here, do not add your own email address, but the email address of your local committee. And here you can add your own phone number or the person who will be sending that and your email. So for instance, vice president for talent management, so do spraw zarządzania zasobami ludzkimi in Polish, and that it is ISEC Polska oddział lokalny in city. Again, remember about communication, that in Polish, I know that English is local committee, and in Polish there's nice word committed, but when we are communicating it externally, it's not committed, it's oddział. Keep it in mind. Okay, so this is it. So you can just create a copy for yourself and edit that, and that's it when it comes to that. I don't know if you have anything else when it comes to this?
No, I think we tackled everything, and anyways, you can find also some information in the newsletter, so make sure to answer to it if you haven't already, and you can rewatch this webinar whenever you want, whenever you have some doubts, and of course, if there are more specific doubts, you can actually come to us and ask. I think that the question of Hassan was regarding the press note. Yes?
Yeah, like anything, and everything is in the Guardian's workspace, folder get, folder 19.2, and then you have like everything, the press notes for you to copy, the recruitment center spreadsheet, the recruitment booklet, and then the folders, subfolders with the materials, offline, online. So everything in the same folder.
Yes. And when it comes to the press note, it's something you can send to media to for them to understand what exactly you are doing, etc. And so it's already created and it's already in Polish. And if you have any doubt and also how to use it more specifically for your LC, if you have some kind of opportunities to send it, etc., you can also approach Oleg.
Sorry, I understood your question because I understood where, not what. Sorry, but yeah, in general, this is formal information about your local committee, and that the recruitment for the local committee is starting. And this is more official because this is, let's say, this formal communication, formal external communication, which we are sending to the people. And then they can just publish the statement on their website, for instance, that something like that, like recruitment to ISEC is happening. Just for increasing the reach, for instance, the local newspaper website, or the radio website, or the young people in the city website. And there is actually a lot of those stuff, but it obviously varies from the region to region. So you should first check it.
Yes, exactly. You have to change something, as Oleg was saying. You have to change what is in the brackets. So, for example, date or the name of the committee, or you can and the email and things like this. And yes, I think we can also highlight in a yellow color what should be changed. So you are making sure that everything that should be changed is actually changed. And yes.
So do not change any sentence. Just put the LC information, LC name, your email in the document itself. So it's fine. Everything is done.
Yes. Do you have any other questions? Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Polish is rather.
Okay. Paulina, do you have any question? Otherwise, we can finish the webinar here. And of course, if you have further questions in the future, you can approach us. 3, 2, 1. All right. So, okay, perfect. So thank you so much for attending this webinar, and it will be posted in our workplace group, and also it will be the link on the spreadsheet. It was a pleasure for us to try to help you as much as possible when it comes to the promotion of the recruitment, and then all that with making sure that everything is in place to make sure that recruitment is ready. And thank you for your appreciation. And I'm very happy it was helpful. And in the end, this is what we are here to do. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. We'll upload this webinar
And you
shortly,
can rewatch it.
but it's a really long video, so I think it will upload a while. So yeah, but we'll do it today.
All right.
Thank you.
Then thank you so much, and bye bye. Take care,
See ya.
you too. Bye.